I have with me Professor M.L. Singla, Dean of Faculty of Management Studies, University of Delhi. Thank you, sir, for joining us today.
You're most welcome.
Yeah. Okay, FMS is counted amongst one of the premier B schools in the country. As the institutional head, how do you ensure that the highest standard of education is maintained?
See, there are majorly two steps. One is the intake of the students, the admission process. We follow the strictest possible standards while recruiting students for admission to MBA programs at FMS.
Sure.
Be it MBA day program, which is called MBA full-time program, or be at MBA executive program or healthcare program, which are the evening programs.
Sure.
So admission process at FMS is very, very sacrosanct, is very, very above board, and we follow strict discipline in admitting students. You'll be surprised to know that most of the times the wards of FMS faculty members are not able to make it to FMS. That's one thing. Second, of course, the process of delivery is very, very carefully watched throughout the 2 years of instruction. We follow a very, very strict discipline in the classroom and so on and so forth. Then, of course, the usual examinations. If I may be summing up the whole thing, we follow what is called ADD, ambience, discipline and delivery. So we are trying to create an ambience which will be conducive to learning. Then we try to enforce discipline majorly on the students, and of course it follows on the faculty members also. Then delivery has no option but to be there.
Okay, sure.
So we are creating a good ambience, we are enforcing discipline, and we are going in for excellent delivery of courses. If this may so.
You did your MBA and doctorate in management from FMS. Any changes you have seen in the subject focus of the management studies over the years?
If you really look at it, one, the knowledge base of students have really gone up. The students that we are getting today are much more informed, are much more tech savvy, are much more smarter, if we say so. So, one, the input which is required in this 2 years' time has really gone up exponentially. So, in the same 4 semesters, the amount of input which goes into making an MBA is much more elaborate as compared to what it used to be 25 years back or 30 years back. For example, like during our times, we used to have 18 courses or 20 courses of delivery. Today, in the same 4 semesters, we have 32 courses of instruction. For example, lot many courses on e-marketing, e-banking, e-retailing, distribution systems, and so on and so forth, supply chain management. So all these courses are new courses. Corporate social responsibility, which never used to be there. Business and ethics, people never used to talk about it. People thought it is given, but now it is explicitly talked about. Right? Emotional intelligence, spirituality, all these things are new entrants into the course curriculum of an MBA program.
What course in spirituality is there?
Basically, it flows from emotional intelligence. That managers are no more required to be only intelligent. They are also required to be emotionally stable, emotionally intelligent. So from there flows the spirituality. That maybe spirituality can have a role to play in the emotional intelligence. That's how it is.
And also, how do you see that apart from obviously when it comes to the curriculum, there has been this change, as you say, of 10.
There is a much bigger change which is happening. Lot of guest lectures from the corporates and industry. Lot of guest lectures from the government sector. Lot of people coming, working executives taking place, taking interest in coming and interacting with the students. Lot of live projects which have to be undertaken by students. Lot of field assignments that they undertake. They also work a lot on the web. So these are some of the changes which have really taken place over a period of time.
So this must have also led to a lot of change in the pedagogy, like what it was.
100%.
earlier.
There is more and more emphasis on live projects and group field assignments and case analysis and so on and so forth. This is no more a theoretical course. You'll be surprised that there will be many more courses in University of Delhi and many other institutions where the same courses are taught, but the approach to teaching these courses is entirely different in a B school like FMS and in any other department of the universities. So that is the major difference which is creating a problem, making a significant difference to the value addition.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, because it is basically that what differentiates a premier institute 100%. From an average.
Same courses are taught in almost all 400 universities, MBA programs and other such programs. But then value addition actually comes from what happens in the class. And we are lucky that we have a lot of people, lot of corporates, working executives, very senior level, who come and interact with the students at FMS, even teaching full courses at times.
Interesting. Okay. With the economy opening up, the government inviting more and more FDI, and the huge focus on entrepreneurship, what changes do you feel are required in the current curriculum of MBA?
I think our focus has to shift more towards, would you call it as integration, and also some kind of globalization and internationalization of businesses. That students have to have experience of exposure to international scenarios, whether we do it through courses or we do it through exchange programs or we send the students abroad and they spend some time over there, because international travel itself is going to be acting as a major educational input. So FMS has to move on to globalization scenario. It has to move on to international businesses and MNC culture and so on and so forth. It's doing well otherwise, but I think that should be the next step which has to be there. We have some understanding with a few institutions where the students go there for a very, very short while, something like 1 week, 2 weeks or 3 weeks, but that's out of their individual interest. I think with the way the things are changing at the university also, at University of Delhi, it will not be very far off when even a student spending a 1 full semester abroad and bringing back the grades to be accommodated would happen.
And this is a very usual practice if you see at international universities 100%. Across. It's quite a usual practice.
So I think it's not very far off. It may happen any time. University of Delhi is actually working towards it on the great transfer.
FMS recently celebrated its Diamond Jubilee and has produced some accomplished business leaders for India Inc. Would you like to share some names of the illustrious alumni of FMS?
In fact, the biggest strength that FMS has today is its alumni base. So we have something like 7,000 people who are already there on the database networked. If I start counting CXOs, it may run into a list of more than 250 people or 300 people right now.
That's amazing.
So we have people who have done very well in the industry, people who have done very well in the bureaucracy, in the civil services, people who have done very well for themselves in the businesses. So we have friends like Ashwini Vendlas, we have friends like R. Mukandan, we have friends like Ajoy Mishra, we have friends like Bridge Oberoi, we have friends like Sundar Hemrajani, we have friends like we had R.S. Botola, who was the Indian Corporation chairman. Its list is endless, and these people have really done very, very well in the industry. We just recently had our Silver Jubilee reunion, and we had Mukhmeet Singh Bhatia, who is a very senior IAS officer. We have Sandeep, who is now director at Lal Bahadur Shastri Academy in Mussoorie. So we have a very, very long list of people who done very well for themselves in the industry, and collectively FMS has done so well.
So well, yeah. So how does the institute ensure that the alumni remains closely associated with its alma mater?
As I said, that we have a database of more than 7,000 people with us, so we communicate very well with them.
What are the examples you communicate and be in?
So for example, like roughly about 8 to 10 times we do send them emails, and then we have a website which interacts very regularly with them. So events we organize, Otherwise, we communicate with them very often. We send SMSs to them, and we have publications like this. So that's how we stay in touch with them.
Specifically for the alumni?
For the alumni. For the alumni. Because we realized long time back that alumni is the major strength of a B school.
Sure, yes.
So that's how it is.
I agree. Okay. How does the institute ensure that the alumni is closely associated with its alma mater? Also, how do they guide the students with their industry experience?
We have what is called one-on-one mentoring program. So we shortlist people with an experience of 5 to 10 years. Sure. If it's less than 5 years, they don't have enough experience. If it's more than 10 years, then there's a huge age gap, they will not communicate.
Sure. Yes.
So 5 to 10 years. So we attach every student at FMS with an alumnus who has got 5 to 10 years experience. Okay. So it's a unique program at FMS which is called a one-on-one mentorship program. Okay. They actually provide a hand-holding experience to the students, current students. So if they have any issues related to course, related to their placement, related to their internship, related to their live projects, related to any particular subject, related to specialization, so they're free to communicate with them very frequently, and that helps.
When was this program started?
About 7 years back.
Okay, so it's been quite some time now.
It's been quite some time.
Okay, and you also recently launched FMS Forum. Can you please tell us what is that about?
See, leveraging the alumni strength of FMS, of any B school, is critical for any B school.
Sure.
So, in the past we had what is one body which was called Management Alumni Association. It actually was not performing the role that it is supposed to perform. Then in 1998 we launched what is called FMS Alumni Association. It done extremely well in terms of networking people. But then for about 2 years or so we have been realizing that we need to have something called a powerhouse for a B school, where very senior people come together and they create knowledge. So we have FMS Alumni Association, which is more of a networking organization, where everybody and anybody is a part of it. Then we started FMS Forum, which is primarily to undertake the knowledge creation activities. Okay. Thought leadership, basically. Thought leadership. For example, the first flagship event that we did was on 21st of March, which was a panel discussion. If you try and look at the performance of that particular panel discussion, you will realize that it was actually a thought leadership kind of idea. So we are hoping, we are actually expecting that in about 2 to 3 years time, FMS Forum will be able to create a lot more knowledge based activities for FMS under the brand FMS, and it will definitely not only add to the brand FMS, it will also not add to the body of knowledge to the Indian corporates. So we are expecting that.
And what other events apart from discussions that you're planning?
Basically discussions, panel discussions, lecture series, and also providing a lot more direction to the students of FMS. We are contemplating that this kind of body should be able to, share responsibility with the FMS administration and FMS faculty to take FMS to the place where it is able to make a difference to the corporate world of India. So it's not only that we will like to talk about it should only enhance FMS brand, it should only help faculty of FMS, it should be able to make contribution to the Indian corporate world. That people should say that yes, if it is a FMS Forum activity, it will be a experience where one should go and join wherever you come from, whosoever you are. That is the kind of aim that we have.
What are the new initiatives that you plan to launch at FMS in the next 2-3 years?
See, generally we are told that we are number 3 in the country, we are number 4 in the country. Actually, we don't want to believe in number game, because we respect all other institutions which are there in number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and whatever. What we definitely want to do is, today we would like to do better than yesterday, and tomorrow we would like to do better than today. So we will only keep on striving towards excellence within FMS, so that we are able to make a contribution to the country. That's the objective.
Thank you, Mr. Singla, for your time.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.